The drama in AEW continues to just get worse and worse and worse and worse, and we are less than 2 weeks away from what is the biggest pro wrestling show of all time, at least the biggest AEW show of all time, All In, Wembley Stadium in the United Kingdom. This morning we woke up to news about Cash Wheeler. He is one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions in FTR with Dax Harwood. We have news on Cash Wheeler being arrested this morning, and everybody on social media freaking out if this arrest is going to stop him from traveling to the United Kingdom, traveling for AEW All In, and defending the AEW Tag Team Championships with his partner Dax against Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks. I got all the latest, the very latest on that right here today. Also, we're going to talk about the Judgment Day. As you guys have seen on WWE TV, the Judgment Day is seemingly set to split. Now, the whole group is not going to go away. There still will be a Judgment Day, but it's either going to be Finn Balor or Damian Priest. Judgment Day is not going to be big enough for both guys, for both of their egos. So we are going to talk about that as WWE has a solid plan moving on forward with Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And we have news tonight on Edge. Tonight, he has stated simply and clearly that it will be his last match under his current WWE contract, which has people talking about him potentially showing up at Wembley Stadium in AEW for All In. So we'll talk about all this. It's a loaded show today, guys. I appreciate you joining me right here on Off the Script. We'll start with Cash Wheeler, man. This is the biggest news of the day. And a lot of people are already claiming that AEW All In is cursed. Now, I won't go that far. I mean, if they're cursed with anything, it's bad creative and bad booking and drama. But this does not help AEW's cause at all. And people are starting to ask questions in regards to this arrest. Cash Wheeler, real name Daniel Wheeler, is facing 1 count of aggravated assault with a firearm after being arrested on Friday morning by the Orlando Police Department. The Orlando Sentinel first reported the news. According to county records following the arrest, Wheeler was booked in circuit court. A warrant for his arrest was filed on July 28th. After the incident happened on July 27th, he pleaded not guilty to the charge via his attorney on August 3rd. The charge is considered a third-degree felony in Florida. Cash has been all over AEW television since July 27th and July 28th. Now, one of the questions that people asked, and rightfully so, is this something that he failed to mention to Tony Khan and AEW management? Is this something that Tony Khan knew about and kind of made a determination then that it's not going to be a big deal? He came to a conclusion with Cash, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Let's conduct business until they reach back out to me, which they did today, and he was arrested. So one of the questions was, did Cash leave this away from AEW? Did he not tell AEW management about this situation? And if he did Tony Khan know about it and just not do anything about it? My question is, what do you expect Tony Khan to do when he's put in that situation? I mean, nobody really knew what the situation was then. There was really no information on it, but a warrant for his arrest was filed. Police were looking for him. He's out there having bangers on Collision with Bullet Club Gold. He's having bangers with MJF and Adam Cole, all while the police have a warrant for his arrest. I mean, you would think that if you're Cash, you would have told AEW management in regards to that. It's a pretty big deal. And if Tony Khan knew about it and he didn't do anything about it, I mean, both sides of the coin, it's just a bad look. It really is just a bad look for AEW. It's not good. It's just a bad look for AEW. Wheeler had a hearing this afternoon where his attorney asked the judge, which was granted, for Wheeler to be released on a $2,500 bond. His attorney noted that this was not a domestic issue. That's good. That's positive. And did not know the people involved, which is also good. The prosecutor mentioned Wheeler allegedly flashing a gun during a road rage incident. All of Wheeler's firearms will have to be turned over to the local sheriff's department until the case is over, and he is not allowed to have contact with those involved. Now, it was a road rage incident. I've seen people online calling for his suspension, calling for him to be fined. People are already making a determination on the Young Bucks winning the tag team titles and Cash Wheeler going away for a little bit. I mean, people are, it's Twitter, so I'm not really surprised. People are already jumping to conclusions in regards to this guy's future. I mean, give me a break. Nobody knows what happened in this road rage incident. The one thing that I was thinking about, I'm glad he wasn't intoxicated, number one. That's the first thing that I'm thinking about. Oh, road rage, he's intoxicated. He wasn't under the influence of alcohol, so that is a blessing right there. It was a simple road rage incident. I mean, I have mini spurts of road rage when I drive. I mean, just ask anybody that knows me. I get very angry with the most minuscule things. Someone doesn't put on a fucking blinker and they change lanes. I'm fucking yelling and I'm getting frustrated. I can't stand traffic. I cannot stand bumper-to-bumper traffic. I get so antsy, it is ridiculous, man. I want to kill somebody. But we all have to contain ourselves. Nobody knows what Cash Wheeler was going through. Nobody. He's got a gun on him. Clearly, he probably owns the gun. He owns the gun. He's got a right to own the gun. Maybe he felt like he was being threatened. Maybe he felt like he needed some self-defense and he wanted some protection. Maybe he felt like his life or his family's life, whoever was in the car with him, I don't know if anybody was in the car with him. Maybe he was there by himself. Maybe he felt like his life or whoever else was in the car with him, their life was in jeopardy due to this road rage incident. So something happened. One thing led to another. They pulled off to the side of the road, and next thing you know, he's waving a fucking gun in somebody's face, making threats. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You weren't there. You don't know the type of road rage incident it was. You don't know the type of demeanor from this other person, the other party involved. You don't know if his life was being threatened. You don't know any of this shit. It's all hearsay. So people are calling for a suspension. People are calling for this and that, and him to be taken off television. Let the fucking thing play out, really. This is a real-life situation. This is not a fucking storyline. It's not. FTR is currently the AEW Tag Team Champions. They're scheduled to defend the tag team titles against the Young Bucks at All In on August 27th at Wembley Stadium. Clearly, this is a big deal. This is the only thing people were talking about on social media. AEW issued the following statement. AEW has been made aware of the charge, and we are closely monitoring the situation. AEW has been made aware of the charge. When? On July 28th? Or were they made aware when it hit the news on Friday morning? Nobody knows. Wheeler is fully cooperating with the local authorities. End quote. Cash Wheeler appeared in court this morning after his arrest for aggravated assault with a firearm. Through his attorney, Wheeler says he did not know the people involved, and it was not a domestic incident like we said. Wheeler is accused of flashing a firearm during the road rage incident, the alleged road rage incident. The bond was $2,500, and Wheeler was ordered to have no contact with the people involved. All weapons must be turned over. PW Insider gave us a major update in regards to this, and this should really kind of put everything to bed about what's going to happen at All In. According to PW Insider, Cash Wheeler was not asked to surrender his passport by the Circuit Court of Orange County in Florida today. There are currently no restrictions on Wheeler traveling internationally that have been imposed by the court. Since Wheeler has not been convicted of a crime, it does not currently appear he will have any issues traveling to London for AEW All In. Good. Good. It was a non-issue when they mentioned it was a $2,500 bond. Goodbye. Now everybody could put this to rest. You're going to get the tag team match of the year, potentially at All In, and everybody could go on with their day. It's also Florida. Are you surprised any of this happened in the state of Florida? I mean, give me a break. So the only thing that you and I should be concerned with is Cash Wheeler okay? Yes. Was his life threatened? Nobody knows. Everybody's jumping to conclusions about him waving a fucking firearm in a road rage incident. Nobody knows what happened. He wasn't under the influence of alcohol. As long as he and his family or whoever he was with, if he was with anybody in the car, they're okay, and he gets back to doing what he does best, and that is entertaining us and being a pro wrestler. Simple. But right now, PW Insider is saying that everything that happened, he wasn't surrendering his passport. He wasn't asked to surrender his passport, and he will be at All In for the time being right now, as of right now. So that's that. Any more information, I will let you guys know on it. But to wake up to this news today and hear all this news after Tony Khan put on one of the worst second hours of AEW's history for Dynamite. We had a fucking geek waving around a fake chainsaw wearing a fucking mask from Spirit of Halloween early in August, pretending that he was Leatherface. And then we got all the CM Punk drama and everything regarding that. I mean, this is not really a good look for AEW, and they could certainly use a dose of positivity, honestly. And I hope this is the end of it. I hope, listen, I'm tired of the fucking drama. Everybody's tired of the drama. So hopefully we move on from this, and hopefully Dax and Cash will be able to defend their tag team titles at All In against the Young Bucks. Judgment Day. We got a big spoiler on the Judgment Day, and creative is now in place for Damian Priest to get the boot from Judgment Day. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer Newsday, Dave Meltzer reported that WWE is planning to have Priest, not Balor, leave the group. Meltzer speculated that the possible addition of J.D. McDonough to the group, based off what WWE's done as of late, with him, he will be added to Judgment Day. Meltzer wrote, and I quote, "While this could easily change, like most plans do in WWE, the long-term plan is Priest out of the Judgment Day. Whether that means McDonough is in, that's a probable, but not 100%. Damian Priest is the likely candidate to be booted from the Judgment Day, and it makes the most sense because you got that teacher and student dynamic with Finn Balor and JD McDonough. There's a lot that you could do there. I think McDonough kind of being on TV with Finn Balor is going to get him where he needs to be. And a storyline is very accessible there with teacher and student. You can have Finn Balor maybe go heel, or he is a heel, or maybe turn on J.D. McDonough where McDonough goes face, or you can have Balor turn baby face and J.D. McDonough kind of usurps him in Judgment Day and takes his spot in Judgment Day. He's learned everything from Finn that he needs to know now that he can be the new leader of Judgment Day. I'm just thinking ahead. I'm not saying that's where they're going to go with it, but I'm giving you ideas about potentially where Balor and J.D. McDonough give more of a long-term plan for Judgment Day than if Balor was to be removed and Priest was to stay in. Damian Priest can go on to be babyface. What he does with the briefcase, nobody knows. Nobody knows when this breakup is coming. Is he going to get kicked out? Are they going to beat him up? Is he going to leave on his own? Is there going to be something regarding the briefcase? Does he win the world title and then they get jealous and they kick him out? Like Randy Orton and Evolution. I don't know. We will see what happens, but that's the plan right now for Judgment Day. It looks like J.D. McDonough is on his way to being in Judgment Day, and it looks like Finn Balor will remain while Damian Priest is out one way or another. Edge. I won't be watching SmackDown live tonight. I will be at the NYC Arena doing my House of Glory business tonight. It's Matt Cardona versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the HOG World Championship. If you guys want to tune into that, it will be live on Premier Network. You guys can purchase the show. I'm very honored to be calling a Hiroshi Tanahashi match tonight. But Edge, he will be wrestling Sheamus tonight on SmackDown. I will be live with the SmackDown review tomorrow afternoon, as I usually am following the Hog shows that take place on Friday. Edge will wrestle his last match for WWE, his last match that is currently on his WWE contract. Edge is slated to wrestle Sheamus Friday on SmackDown, and he's made a mention. This is not news. He's mentioned this last year. He wanted to wrestle his last match in Toronto. And that so happens to be the destination for SmackDown tonight. Earlier in the year, Edge walked those comments back a little bit at the Elimination Chamber and the post-show press conference. As he noted, he was unsure what he was eating for breakfast the next day following the Elimination Chamber, so he can't really give you an idea of what he's doing, later on in the year, specifically when WWE goes back to Toronto. He's only sure about his retirement match happening in Canada, as that's what he desires. Edge's trainer has previously stated that this is probably Edge's last match. That's all he said. Now, while speaking to ET Canada, Edge was asked if Friday would be his retirement match. Edge said he doesn't know whether it will be or not, but it is the last match on his current WWE deal. He says this, and I quote, "Here's what I can honestly say, and this isn't the answer everyone wants. I truly don't know. With 100% truth, I can say I don't know. That's strange for me, but I don't. I really don't. I put some thought into it, but not a lot. This is the last match on my current contract, so I don't know. I honestly don't know. I probably won't know until I get to the locker room that night and decompress and let all the anxiety and tension that I've never used to have before I performed, I have now. That's strange for me and makes it that much harder to do this. I'm going to be 50 in October. It's not easy anymore. Before, what I used to take for granted to be able to do now, there is a process and a fallout, and there's a lot. It's the dream gig, but it's getting really hard, end quote. First of all, I think it's going to be a great match with Sheamus. Sheamus doesn't have bad matches, and neither does Edge. Secondly, I would be shocked if WWE just lets him walk. You know WWE is going to offer him another year, another 2 years maybe. I don't know if he's going to be able to make the same money that he made currently under his current deal. 3 years at $3 million a year. I mean, that's a lot of money. And the rumor was he used AEW as leverage to get that type of money from Vince McMahon to come back and wrestle for him. Because he was ready to go. And Vince McMahon did not want him going to Tony Khan, and he paid him what he needed to keep him around. But now with the sale to Endeavor, and more than likely contracts like that not being given out to I wouldn't say people aren't going to get those types of contracts, but they're not going to be handed out as frequently as they were when Edge first came back to the WWE. They're going to be looking to save some money. They're going to be looking to cut some budget as the sale is finalized between WWE and Endeavor. So is that going to factor into anything with Edge? Nobody knows. Maybe they offer him a contract and they didn't offer him anywhere near what he was making this time around. He's not going to tell you that. He's not going to be able to tell you that. He's going to ride this last match for now, as long as he can, and then maybe show back up in WWE or show up at Wembley for all we fucking know. I don't know. I don't really know. But I said this several times to several different people. I don't know what else there is left for Edge to do in WWE. He doesn't really factor into... He's on SmackDown. He doesn't really factor into anything World Championship-wise. I mean, he could win the Royal Rumble. We've seen that. We've been there, done that. I mean, him winning the World Championship, he'd have to get in line. We've seen Edge versus Rollins. He's not really set up to take that title from Rollins right now. I know there's a pecking order on Monday Night Raw. You got a potential huge Drew McIntyre making a wave on Monday night. That's where I think they're going with that. You got Cody Rhodes over there. You got Gunther over there, who's probably going to drop that IC title and win the World Championship sooner rather than later. Randy Orton's always going to be a threat. He's coming back. Nobody knows what's going on there. Edge is not on that show, and if he was on that show, he's got to get in line. He wants to retire in Canada. Fine. I always thought that Edge would retire in some capacity at WrestleMania. Randy Orton or John Cena. Brock Lesnar would be his last opponent, something along those lines. But here we are for a random SmackDown episode in Toronto against Sheamus, who he's never wrestled before. If that's what he wants. That's what he wants. Nobody could say otherwise. He's not winning the world title on SmackDown. Roman Reigns is going to drop that title to one person and one person only, and that's Cody Rhodes. So what else is there for him to do? Win the United States title? Win the Intercontinental title? He's done that. He didn't come back to win secondary titles. He came back to win a world championship. Or he came back to team with his best friend and bring back that Edge and Christian vibe and win some tag team gold, maybe in AEW. I don't know. That's where I think Edge is going to end up going. I genuinely believe, and you guys can call me, a mark or whatever you want. I genuinely think there is more truth to that than people really want to let on. Dax Harwood tweeted a picture about Edge, him, Cash, and Edge. They are very, very good friends. They trained Edge upon his return back to the WWE after 9 years. They were the ones responsible for getting him ready. Matt Hardy tweeted that they will be forever linked. These tweets, these pictures that went along with these tweets, they're just not random. Hey, we love Edge. He's our friend. They're trying to tell you something without actually trying to tell you something. They can't. They're basically giving you clues, and you're going to pick them up like little pieces on that road. And when we get to that road, Edge is going to end up in AEW. That's just the way that I see it. Edge, there's nothing for him to do in WWE. It's either a world championship and then retire or nothing. What is he doing? He's going to go to AEW, team with his best friend, maybe feud with his best friend. I mean, there's more for him to do in AEW than there is for WWE. I'm assuming he wants to be with Christian when he retires. Christian's doing some of the best work of his fucking life right now in AEW. Go to AEW, whether you feud with Christian, whether you team with Christian. Imagine a tag team with Christian Cage. Edge and Christian back together. Edge and Christian versus FTR. Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. You know Tony Khan's going to want to fucking recreate some crazy fucking ladder match. You know him. Edge and Christian versus the Young Bucks. Edge and Christian versus the House of Black. I mean, the list goes on and on. Edge and Christian versus the Lucha Brothers. Edge versus Kenny Omega. Edge versus Adam Page. Edge versus CM Punk. I mean, there is so much for him to want to express there. You know, his passion right now may be waning because there really isn't much for him to do in WWE. But for him to go to AEW, that opens up Pandora's box. That opens up a whole new world of possibilities. And he says his body's breaking down. He's 50 years old. It's only getting harder. I mean, when you're looking at shit like that, that's going to get your blood pumping. If you love what he does, like he does, what is he going to do? Say no to that? These guys never fully retire, man. They're always in the business in some way, shape, or form. They're either in the ring. If they're not in the ring, they're fucking training at the performance center or training at a performance center-like place, like the Nightmare Factory. If they're not doing that, they're fucking talking about it on a podcast. These guys never fully retire. So why not just give in and go do what you need to do and write that final chapter that you are not going to be able to write in WWE? I only ask one thing, that when this guy makes his first big pay-per-view appearance, that we got Mark Tremonti and Miles Kennedy playing Metalingus to the fucking ring. Because you know, for God, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, as God is my witness, Tony Khan's already got the fucking rights. If this is true, if he ends up going there, Tony Khan's already got the rights to Metalingus by Alter Bridge, signed, sealed, and delivered. What, are you going to have him come out with something else? Some random fucking rinky-dink Mikey Ruckus theme? No, man. Does he have the name trademarked? I'm getting ahead of myself. Man. But I do think Edge is going to AEW, and I think that is the best possible place for him to end up going. Plus, that locker room could use his leadership and his knowledge. That is for damn sure. So we'll see what happens with that. But Edge and Sheamus tonight going to have a lot of answers tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Guys, thank you so very much for all your support. If you enjoyed the video today, please hit that thumbs up. I wanted to get you guys something tonight because I'm not going to be live for SmackDown tonight. I will be live with SmackDown tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you guys sign up. Not sign up or subscribe, whatever. Hit that subscribe button so you are notified of everything that I do. And make sure that bell is turned on so you are notified when the live stream notification goes out. And be here when I talk about SmackDown, man. It'll be a great stream tomorrow afternoon, and I wanted to get you guys this video tonight as a replacement for that because I love you guys. So make sure you guys hit that thumbs up as well. 1,000 likes minimum today on Off the Script. Make sure you guys go out and check out all the other videos if you missed any content on the channel. It was a major week, so we got a lot to talk about, especially that dynamic and fucking just off-the-wall Dynamite review. Go check that stuff out and anything else that you might have missed. And as always, man, please hit that thumbs up. Like I said, 1,000 likes minimum. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon for SmackDown Live right here on OTS.